I wish they hadn't given me memory wiping drugs, and I wish they had placed me in a coma. Those are two of my biggest regrets from when I was in the ICU with Stevens-Johnson syndrome. Even though I do have some regrets, I know that it's just a normal human part of reflecting and growing from an experience. And the thing that matters most is that I'm alive to tell you my stories today. Not everyone gets the second chance in life that I've gotten. The entire month-long period when I was in the ICU trying to fight off Stevens-Johnson syndrome, I was living on adrenaline, painkillers, and in fight or flight. Nurses would come into my room at like 3, 4, 5 a.m. and be like, "Why aren't you sleeping?" And I would be recording action plans of what needed to happen and when and what the next steps were, because my body was just in shock over what was happening. So maybe me not being in a coma was for the best. Like, I don't know, maybe if I was in a coma, someone would have forgotten to suction me, or something would have happened in terms of medical neglect, and like maybe I would have choked, or like, I don't know. I'm alive and I know that's what matters most. I also think there are some advantages of being placed in a medically induced coma, because the body can do things like focus on the fight while it's getting some rest. The other thing that I regret is the fact that I received memory wiping drugs. I was in a burn ward for a month, and burn wards are very vivid places. Like, because I didn't have eyesight a lot of the time that I was in the ICU, I was super tuned in to all of my emotions and like acutely aware that the entire floor was suffering, and that the healthcare workers that were taking care of me were doing like really big and hard work. Because I was on a ventilator and I had multiple operations and like a lot of traumatic medical procedures, I was given memory wiping drugs to kind of help tone down the memories of some of these experiences. I think the memories like still exist deep in my subconscious. They still exist somewhere deep inside me, and I feel like I can't finish closing the loop, and I can't finish processing some of what happened to me, because it feels like just these locked memories that I can't fully access. And so what I wind up defaulting to doing is reliving some of the same more traumatic experiences over and over in my head, and like reaching for memories that I can't fully access. And I feel like there's just this like loop that I can't close. Obviously, the experience also gave me PTSD, so maybe that has something to do with it. Of course, Luis knew I was about to start talking about SJS, because cats are little energy sponges, and she knew I needed a little bit of moral support. I'm gonna share a hard memory from the ICU, and that is just all of the legwork we would have to do to just get me to take a shower, to just apply a cream. There was a steroid cream that they would come and apply to my burns. And in order to apply that steroid cream, I would be given 4 or 5 different types of heavy duty painkillers. I would put on a meditative playlist. I would have stress balls. I would have just like everything that I could get in my toolkit to prep me for putting like a little dab of steroid cream on me. And it would still be so painful that I would have to have like 3 or 4 nurses in the room, and my body would be convulsing on the table from the pain. And I'm sorry if that's hard to listen to. I don't think anyone that hasn't experienced burns or worked in a burn ward themselves understands the gravity of just how painful burns are. There's a huge awareness issue around SJS. A lot of people do not know that it even exists. A lot of people are prescribed medications and have no idea and aren't warned of the fact like getting SJS is a possibility. It's really, really complicated and tricky to treat SJS. It's not well known. it's not well researched, and it's underfunded. If you see this come up on your feed again and again, that means it's working. Awareness about SJS is increasing, and that is my mission. I'm not for or against medication, but I am for awareness of people understanding the choices that they're making and the risk and benefit that come with them. On a lot of pharmaceutical labels, it just says, warning, there's a risk of a rash. SJS is not just a rash, at least not the severe cases. It is truly your body burning from the inside out, like little bits of your insides melting, your skin sloughing off, getting blisters and lesions in your mouth, your nose, your ears, your eyes, anywhere there's like a hole or a crevice, it's gonna blister and bubble over. Sometimes I struggle with sharing experiences from SJS, and truthfully, I get a little bit insecure when I share about these like harrowing times that I've had in my life, because I never wanna be viewed as defective, weak. It's a really vulnerable thing to share about. I wanna change the rhetoric and the lack of awareness around SJS, and I'm on a mission to do that, and I'm not gonna stop even if it's hard for me. Secondly, if you have ever been through anything physically or medically traumatic in your life, I want other people to know that they are not broken and that they are so freaking strong, smart, and capable for enduring what they went through and then continuing to get up every day in the morning and keep going.